What's good, guys? In today's video, we're going to talk about how the yearly candle is going to affect the just Bitcoin as well as crypto moving forward for the next few months. Also, we're going to give you the intraday setup because today we have news, which is rare for a Monday. And of course, this is the first day, well, the first official trading day of the week, or rather the first official trading day of the first official trading week of the year. So it's a bit of a mouthful, but let's just say that today is probably going to start off with a bang, and yeah, you don't want to miss out on the opportunity. But just to kick things off, last Friday, if you guys took this setup, like, congratulations. We basically marked out 3 PDRAs, and once you get into it, as long as you don't get a candle close underneath this level right here, this is all good to go for a long. And yeah, if you guys took advantage of that, congratulations. Me personally, I'm still currently on a team retreat right now, which means that I'm not necessarily doing the most work at the moment. We will be returning home in the next few days, but like for now, just bear with the poor visual quality until, that changes. But anyways, just to kick things off with the yearly candle close, we ultimately closed bearish. Now, is that the end of the world? Not necessarily. Usually when you close bearish on a candle, you are anticipating the next candle to also follow in the direction of that previous close candle. So the fact that it closed bearish means that you are anticipating some sort of bearish move. Is that the end of the world? The reason why it's not is because over here you have a bullish fair value gap, which means that there is a very high possibility that you retrace into the bullish fair value gap sometime during the year. And as for when that is, I will have no idea. But if I had to guess, it will probably come in Q2. So around, like April to around June. The reason being is that if you take a look at just quarterly theory in general, there are 4 unique kind of like segments in terms of how the markets like to move. First, you have your accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and X, which can either be continuation or reversal. And usually the second quarter of every year tends to be the manipulation. So the first 3 months is kind of like setting that opening range. And then in Q2, you're going to manipulate below, and then Q3, Q4, you can potentially go higher. Now, am I making a prediction that's like multiple months in advance? Yes. Is things bound to change in between now and then? Absolutely, yes. But I'm definitely going to keep you guys updated as we go through the months. But anyways, now that that's over, let's get into that let's get into that daily trade. So to kick things off, we are definitely looking very bullish to start the year. Not only have we gotten 5 consecutive bullish closes, but we have also gotten, well, multiple CISDs. And overall, it's just looking really good for a long, and especially more so if we manage to close above 93,400 today. Now, just the fact that I'm saying this right now means that it's probably not going to close above 93,400 today, just because the markets have a way of wanting to just mess around with, traders and how they feel. Like, you think this is going to happen, and then the market's just like, oh, nope. So, but either way, we're still going to be looking for a long today, just because we have an incredible amount of bullishness. Remember what I talked about earlier with the 12-month candle? When you have a bullish close the day before, then you are anticipating the next day to trade higher, which is currently what seems to be happening so far. Now, what I can see here is that during the London session, you have actually traded below the Asia session just to fill in that 1 hourly fair value gap right there. And this kind of gives me the impression that the manipulation has already happened, basically trading below the Asia lows on a day with a bullish daily bias, with the fact that you have a 1 hourly PDRA right underneath the Asia lows, is a textbook setup when it comes to, well, days where you have a bullish bias. Now, of course, the opposite will be true when you have a bearish daily bias. If you sweep above the Asia high during the London session, which usually tends to be the session of manipulation, just like what we talked about earlier with in regards to quarterly theory, how the first, second, third, and fourth quarter kind of have their own unique characteristics. Well, guess what? This is a fractal concept. In terms of the daily, right? If you take a look at it every single day, you have 4 sessions. You have the Asia, London, New York morning, New York afternoon. Guess what AMDX tends to correlate with? That's right. Today, we are potentially having some sort of Asia accumulation, London manipulation, and a New York distribution towards the upside, towards the direction of the bullish daily bias. And so far, based on what I can see, the signs seem to be adding up towards that direction. So even from right now, you're already welcome to just start taking trades as you retrace back into bullish order blocks or bullish fair value gaps. This right here would be an example of one of them, and this right here would be an example of another one of them. Now, you can also use the hourly chart to kind of like give you kind of like broader picture areas where you want to be looking at. Now, the first one, of course, but in the event that when you watch this video, you're trading above this level at 93,000 basically, that's going to be a very easy setup for you to just, take something like this, because at that point, this entire block here is going to become a new bullish order block after filling in the further gap, after sweeping the Asia lows during the London session, which again is just going to equate to a very solid trade. As for a time that you want to look forward to, it's going to be we're going to want to look for 10 a.m. basically, because this is the news that is going to be dropping today. And so far, first week of the year, we're starting off really strong, because Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays are news days as well, which means that this week is very likely to be a very high probability trading week. And the fact that, again, this is the first trading week of the year, there's usually added volatility. So overall, we're going to look to make some very decent money today, and as well as the rest of this week. And one thing's for sure, this already you are having 1 hourly, bullish order flow. So in the event that you get any sort of new bullish order blocks or further gaps, that is already enough for you to just trade it towards the upside. So no need to wait for specific levels. It's literally just momentum trading. But if you're able to concentrate your trading to the hour before news to the hour after news, which basically means the most ideal trading windows for today is going to be starting at 9 a.m. as you lead up to the news. If you can take that CISD, if you can take the 5-minute order block or further gap, once you get into that kind of timing period, then that is going to be how you maximize your chances of catching a very solid trade. So yes, even if you retrace into here right now, you are able to take the trade. Now, if you want to maximize your probability, then that other scenario, 9 a.m. is going to be when you want to focus on the market. Now, besides that, we're going to talk about Ethereum. Now, Ethereum we're not going to talk about a yearly chart because Ethereum's mainly just what we use for intraday trades. So Ethereum, you have a bullish daily bias in terms of the 1 hour chart as well. Let's take a look. Now, this is also pretty beautiful because we're coming back into this entire block here, which is a bullish order block. Now, which means that, again, the overall order flow is already bullish. You have a bullish daily bias. You have swept below the Asia lows, heading into some sort of bullish PD array, and you're already showing signs of a CISD on the 5-minute chart, which means that in the event, right now, it's already good enough for a trade. It's just if you want to maximize your results or potentially maximize your chances, then you're going to want to wait for that news timing. Now, is it wrong to jump into a trade right now? No. Again, just in terms of probability, that's what you want to watch out for. Now, in terms of Solana, you are also looking very bullish. In fact, I would say Solana is looking even a little bit more bullish compared to Ethereum. Now, in terms of the daily chart, you are having a bullish daily bias. In terms of the hourly chart, you have the exact same setup where that is going to be a PD array that you are able to take advantage of. The only problem is that you are not really having that CISD yet. So in terms of Solana, you really want to see a candle close on the 5-minute above $136 before you start jumping into a long, because that would be a undeniable CISD. Basically, it shows you with undeniable proof that, hey, order flow is now bullish, and at that point, you can jump into a bullish trade and you're going to be pretty safe. Now, outside of that, yeah, nothing too much. Last year, we did amazing. We averaged pretty much a 75% win rate throughout the entire year. Going to try to do better, or just at the very least do the same for this year. To those of you who have been following me for a while, thank you so much for your support. Honestly, this channel would not be where it's at without you guys. Now, we're currently about 10 subscribers away from 30K. So if you've been watching this channel for a while, you find value from these videos and you haven't subscribed yet, highly encourage you to do so. But otherwise, Happy New Year and happy trading. Ciao, ciao.